All right, everybody. We've come to the end of April, and I've got a couple of books that I got this month that I want to grab out of my bookshelves and then just chat a little bit about what happened this month. So let's see if I can find, I think it's 10 books that I want to talk about that have made their way into my shelves. Here we go. I've got 8 so far. I can't remember the other 2. Hang on a second. If I have to, I've got a list. I'm going to have to check my list. 9. Which one am I missing here? Oh, I know which one. This is the only book that I picked up from the Children's Hospital Book Market sale. That's why I'm forgetting. All right, I'm sure that was scintillating footage for you all, but let's get into what I found over this last month. And let's start with the Children's Hospital Book Market. Today is Sunday, April 26th as I'm filming this, and so it just has finished. I only came away with one book from there, but there was a lot of great books for people to pick up. The one that I did come away with was a copy of first printing of Larry Niven and Jerry Parnell's The Gripping Hand. This is from, 1993. I didn't realize that this book came out that late. I actually thought it was out earlier because it had been quite a while since the first one was published, which is The Mote in God's Eye. But the cool thing is, it's a signed version for Brian Larry Niven. So I've made a joke that people can call me Brian, at least when I start to read this book. So that was a great pickup. In the future, I'll put a post that tells you a little bit more about how the Children's Hospital Book Market did and the money that it raised for the Children's Hospital here in Winnipeg. Now, let's see. The next books I'm going to talk about came from bookoutlet.ca, which is a great website that sells remainders, books that the publishers are putting on sale or trying to move out. And so they're usually on half price or less in terms of cost. And if you order enough books, you can get free shipping. So I've ordered enough books to get free shipping, and almost all of them were hardcovers. So let me get to those. The one book that I really wanted to get was Adam Roberts' Lake of Darkness. This one isn't that old. Let's see here. Wouldn't it be funny if I discovered a signed copy while I was looking through this? This is from 2024. So I really wanted to pick that one up. And a little bit older, Purgatory Mount by Adam Roberts. If you don't know Adam Roberts, he's a UK writer, puts out almost a book a year and is a professor and has written a lot of criticism in SF as well. Let's see here. He's a professor of 19th century literature at Royal Holloway, London University. Anyways, let's see when Purgatory Mount came out. 2021. So, got a couple hardbacks from Roberts. I have a book here. Let me just grab this book. I haven't read it yet. The Rise and Fall of Dodo, but you can see that that's an acronym, by Neil Stevenson and Nicole Galland. Well, Nicole wrote a sequel, and it was on sale. So I picked up Masters of the Revels. And this one came out in, this is a first edition, came out in 2021, same as the Purgatory Mount. So another hardcover book here that I was able to get. And these are remainders, but they do not have any remainder marks on them, which is kind of cool. Let's see what else I have here. 2 more. Another hardcover. This time, Michael Moorcock wrote a late Elric story here. And so this is one of those standalone novels or singletons. It is not a collection of novels or omnibuses that they've been putting out, but it matches that livery. And this one is a first print from 2022. And the last one, none of them have remainder marks. Usually they would have like a dot or a stripe of a Sharpie on here. This one is by Paul Macaulay, Evenings and Empires. This was shortlisted for the British Science Fiction Award, the BSFA, one of Britain's finest exponents of hard SF. Looks like it could be a bit of a space opera. Interesting. A couple books that I just picked up used. William Gibson's All Tomorrow's Parties. This one, I believe, is part of a trilogy. So I'm not sure if I have all the components of this trilogy, but this was printed in 1999, or copyright, in 1999. And this is a second print. And the other used book I picked up, Science Fiction by the Rivals of H.G. Wells. Very interesting. It is actually printing out right straight from magazines, the illustrations and the stories. So you can see that we have some stories that have just one column and some stories that have two columns. So this one here was a one column story. And there's even some full page illustrations within. So, very old stories that were by contemporaries of H.G. Wells, rivals of H.G. Wells. Good companion piece to H.G. Wells' stories and novels. And the last couple I picked up new and online. One is the short stories of Robert Charles Wilson, The Perseids, and Other Stories. Locus says William sets out to remind us, and possibly himself, of what there is to fall in love with in SF, and he succeeds. And the very last one, some of you may know I've read a Walter Tevis novel recently, Mockingbird, a very good read. And I wanted to pick up the short stories of Walter Tevis. The King is Dead. Stories by Walter Tevis. And it says, for the first time ever, all of Walter Tevis's stories in a single volume. So I imagine these stories could represent a range of genres. I'm very interested to read his short fiction. So, there you have some of the acquisitions of the month. I'm also going to put a link at the end of the video to a box of books that Whitney of Secret Sauce of Storycraft sent me. We recorded an episode together where she explains to me why she gave me these books, what she was doing in giving me these books. It's a really good episode. I think one of the better ones that I've filmed this year. You may have also noticed behind me that there's a bit of a different view. I have this shelf over here that I brought in some more. So I plan eventually, let's see if I can do this. I plan eventually to have, I'm just going to move the mic for a moment. All right, I'm making a bit of a mess of this, but I plan eventually to have more of a view further back in so you can see both shelves going down. I decided to do this so that I made a little bit of a wider space on this side, I guess it would be, where my wife can work and set up an office space for herself as well. So I still have this shelf with access to both sides, so it acts as a double shelf. But what I did is I also raised it higher. I put another shelf on top of there, so there's quite a bit of shelf space. I actually have quite a few shelves open so that I can do that. I also have down beside my desk here a shelf as well. And it's right beside the window here. This is a shelf with 4 cubby holes, I guess you could say. These Calyx shelves have these sections to them. So you'll see a little bit different views here. My lizard in the back there now is not quite centered, so I may do something about that as well. But we'll get this to work the way we want it to. We're moving into May, and I'm looking forward to getting a little bit more reading done this month. It's been a little bit hard over the last few months with my move and some of the things that I've been doing to get a lot of reading done. I focused in on getting some buddy reads in, and I'm continuing to do that. I hope, though, they'll be able to read more books this month and going into summer. And of course, I'm looking forward to the end of July when I'll be going to Pulp Fest in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. There, I'm going to meet up with a lot of my friends from online here, people who do BookTube. I'm sure that we'll be bringing some books of our own to trade, and that we will have some very interesting books to see in the dealer's room at Pulp Fest. Perhaps you'll join us too. So, until next time, continue collecting those books and, of course, reading those books. So, keep reading.